welcome back. We're living the dream here with Alexa Glazer.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about the Live in the Dream movement.
Yes, so Live in the Dream movement, I actually officially just got it published this week. On Tuesday. My trademark is finally officially mine after 4 long months of waiting.
Woohoo!
So I'm very excited about that. But definitely the biggest part of that is for people to keep the movement moving, the idea of living the dream today because tomorrow's not promised. So a lot of what I do is these videos and me traveling, and I put Post-its everywhere I go. And these Post-its just kind of have positive affirmations on them. So whether I leave them on people's cars, in public restrooms, on airplanes, wherever I go, I like to do that for people to kind of just get another perspective, or if you're having a bad day and see a Post-it, can kind of brighten your day in some sort of way. And through that, I haven't realized the things that it's done for me from just trying to make someone else's day.
Right.
So that like random acts of kindness idea has tremendously helped my life without even trying to, which has been really cool.
So how do you know the movement is moving?
Let's see. So I post a lot on social media and my blog and that sort of thing. So it's really been amazing to see people actually take pictures, do the tagline, send them through text messages, emails, whatever it may be. But I've really gotten to see the movement move with kind of everyone I've talked to. I speak to a lot of teams and stuff, and it's been really, really cool seeing that kind of spread across the whole U.S. too.
So how do you see yourself becoming more desired as a professional speaker? Like, what steps are you taking to get yourself out there and on more stages?
Definitely just trying to get as much experience as I can right now. So speaking in front of anyone and everyone, and whether that's teams, businesses, other conferences, just really trying to get my foot out there and making sure I'm like learning along the way. As I said, this process was such a learning experience where I'm like, people need to go out and live the dream. And then John had mentioned, you need a call to action. I'm like, a call to action, that makes sense. But it until someone tells you,
Right.
You don't necessarily realize kind of those steps you have to take as a public speaker and in your speeches. So I've learned something, I think, every time that I've gotten to speak in front of people.
And a lot of the power of learning and having that experience is reviewing the tapes. Wow, I sound old, don't I? Oh, sorry. Okay. Reviewing the recordings? Yes, better? Okay. So we had a great videographer, and I don't know if you want to kind of mention that and just say thank you, because they were
The MVP photography video team, Dana and Nikki, you guys did an awesome job. We're actually meeting tonight to discuss the Unstuck documentary film that is in the works, and we're kicking that off tonight at a meeting. So really excited about that, and actually partnering with them to make this happen. So you might actually find your way into a movie there. You never know.
I hope so.
So we are actually filming at Unstuck for the documentary movie, and there's a chance, right?
Yeah, it's a chance for anything.
And we talked a little bit about the Unstuck Speakers Bureau as well. What'd you think of seeing yourself on that?
It was very cool. Being a part of that, I think, is going to really, again, help you kind of get your foot in front of the door, get others to kind of see you in another light and see what you talk about and whether that can pertain to something that they actually want you a part of. So I think being a part of something like that is amazing, and it's a huge way to build relationships within the speakers, and that's how you learn, is learning from each other and learning from their experiences and really moving forward on that. So I'm so excited to be able to be a part of that.
Very cool.
It's nice having that extra support, and a lot of the larger bureaus, they want to book the really famous speakers and the ones that have been out there for years and their name is out there, and it's nice to have that small kind of boutique. Let's go with boutique, right? Doesn't that sound fancy?
Yes.
But that support for the newer speakers and the ones that are learning and on their way to being amazing.
Well, the mindset behind the Unstuck Speakers Bureau is
Boutique bureau. Just kidding.
We're not filming for your... And the mindset behind the bureau is simply that, there are a lot of bureaus out there that are looking for the $10,000, $20,000 keynote speaker, which completely makes sense. But there's a lot of companies out there that can't afford that either. And I'm not just opening a speakers bureau to bring speakers on. It is only to help the people who have spoken at Unstuck, because I want Unstuck to be a movement also. And we're going to continue to spread the message of Unstuck across the country, and we're looking at a couple other cities right now. Hopefully we'll be in Houston in January. So that's in the works.
They could probably use some support and
what's
some hope.
The way things that work with Unstuck and just the way things fall together has been amazing from day one. And we had at the conference in August, every speaker, we had 12 speakers, 11 of them live in Las Vegas. The one that didn't lives in Houston. And we were already planning on going there. And this happened the week before Houston got hit with Harvey. And so we thought, well, do we do it or do we not? And so now looking at going in January, and just the message of picking yourself up and moving forward and rebuilding could be an awesome event there. So
yeah, honestly, the timing maybe couldn't even be better because of that. Just from the reaction of people coming up to me, connecting with my story, that's going to be a whole nother level for all of the speakers.
Yeah. All right, so if you had one piece of advice for people, what would you give them? They're struggling, they're going through a hard time, maybe they lost a loved one. What do you tell them?
I would say my biggest piece of advice is let yourself feel the feelings that we're feeling. I think so many times we get stuck in these more negative feelings that we feel, and we want to push them aside, but they're there for a reason.
Right.
And it's not to get fully stuck in them and to pull yourself out, but let yourself feel it and then find a way to get yourself out of it. I think the struggle is truly a part of the process, but the process is what's so great if you just trust in it. So trusting in that process and knowing that everything happens for a reason if you don't ever know what that reason is.
Yeah.
So when you were going through your circumstances after losing your father, and you said you kind of hit bottom a couple times, I think you mentioned in your speech.
Yes.
Look at yourself then versus the first time you saw your face on some of the marketing for this event. Would you have ever pictured that transformation to happen?
Absolutely not. I think from going to that place where you kind of are at rock bottom, you don't want to get out of bed, and that journey is kind of slow moving at first, from that until seeing myself in marketing, you see yourself in a whole new light. And I think it's amazing because it's like a physical proof that you did come that far and that you are going places and you're becoming a better person and you're being able to help people along the way, and that was truly amazing to see.
And there's a certain level of accountability that comes with it too. You can't walk around stuck and be an unstuck speaker. People see that and they make comments, right?
I'll only be stuck for a few minutes.
Yeah, well, but you realize that you have the tools to get yourself moving again. That's why you're there speaking. And so just knowing that, helps you get through some of the little things, because we get stuck every day. We all do. It's just how long do you stay there? Yeah. And so knowing that you've been there.
It's a tweetable right there.
Alrighty.
No, I like that.
So yeah, how long do you stay? Are you willing to stay stuck? So knowing that you're going to be up there speaking to people about getting unstuck, you kind of get a level of accountability. You're like, okay, I can't stay here. This is silly. This is nothing.
Yeah, it's a lot of self-talk, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm during heartbreak, you're oh, I need to practice what I preach here, and I need to find a way to pull myself out of it, and then move forward. Trench on.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. When you look back, does it feel like another lifetime?
Oh yes, it's funny too, because there's days where you're oh my gosh, this just happened yesterday, because I can remember everything, and then there's days where I'm oh my gosh, this feels like ages ago.
And it feels good to know that you're actually serving a purpose right now, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
So tell us how we can get a hold of you or follow you, or how do we get more Alexa?
Yeah, so if I have an Instagram, it's at Living the Dream of the Movement. That's where my movement's at.
Livin',
yeah,
okay.
With an I-N. And then also my website, which is www.alexaglazer.com. And my movement's attached to there, my blog's on there, my email, pretty much everything's on there. So I also have a Facebook page, just Alexa Glazer. Yeah. Any of those ways are great.
Just grab some Post-it notes and get inspiring, right?
Find her on unstuckspeakers.com as part of the Bureau, and hopefully at another Unstuck event soon.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
on the show today,
I
Alexa.
appreciate you having
We
me.
will see you next month. Have a great day.